Good morning, everyone. I hope you're enjoying the OXP so far. So let's not waste any minute and let's jump right into the subject of our presentation. Efficiency Unleashed, Mastering Daily Operations with Barcode. Now for a minute, I want you to close your eyes. Imagine you are a warehouse manager. Imagine your warehouse is huge. Countless locations, countless products, countless units in stock. Imagine that you're responsible for the annual inventory adjustment. Imagine that the only tool you have at your disposal is some piece of papers and some pens. Okay, let's wake up from this nightmare and let's see how better your life is going to be with barcode scanners. Our agenda today, first a brief introduction on how to configure and how to use the barcode app in Odoo, and especially in Odoo 17. And that's why we're going to jump right into the new and improved features of Odoo 17 for the barcode app. And then we're going to put all of this knowledge into practice with the first demonstration of the day in the life of the founder of Odoolicious, a bakery that is managed by Odoo. But we'll see that later on. Okay, barcodes are all about helping people do more in less time. And as Thomas said last year, the ones who know the inventory app would agree that it's one of the most, if not the most advanced app in Odoo. But carrying a computer in the warehouse is not the way to go. If you're picking and packing stuff, you need to go fast. You want a software that's flexible enough to let you decide, while being intuitive enough to suggest what to do next. And that's why we have the barcode app, an app that guides the user into picking the correct product and doesn't let him pick the wrong product or put the product in a wrong location. An app that is easy to use with a minimum of training, and an app that is limited to the only functions warehouse workers need. In other words, barcodes are fast. If we jump into the barcode app, here we land on the home screen. And from the home screen, we can reach three different sections. The first one, operations, on which you will find all of the different types of operations you have configured in the backend. And from there, you'll be able to access all the transfers that are ready to be processed. We also see the inventory adjustment section. And here, and it's new from Odoo 17, we see in parentheses the number of lines that are assigned to my user. Okay, so I already know that now I need to manage 5 different lines of inventory adjustment. I can also access all my batch and wave transfers from the batch transfer section. But actually from the home screen, we can do so much more. For example, we can scan operation types, location to create a new transfer. We can scan a document to open it. We can scan a product or a package to know its content and find its location. All right, let's jump into the operations and batch transfers menu. From here, we can scan a lot more items. For example, we can scan product, packages. We can scan specific package types if we want to specify the type of package we're going to put our products in. We can also scan packagings if we want to scan a specific quantity of products at the same time. We can scan lot numbers, serial numbers, even expiration date if we want to use JS1 barcodes, for example. But we can also scan some actions, for example, validate, cancel, return, scrap. And now, since Odoo 17, we are also able to print automatically from the barcode app by the click of a button. For example, if we want to print the delivery slip, we can click on validate, and this will automatically either download the PDF of the delivery slip, or if you use IoT Box, you can print it automatically in your printer. But before jumping into the database, it's really important for the barcode app to take a step back, to imagine the process that your workers are going to use. And this is why we need to define all the scanning steps. And this is done per operation type. If we go in the operation types menu, then we can configure all of these different scanning steps. And this is done through the barcode app tab in the operation types configuration. From here, we can define all of the mandatory scans. For example, let's say that I want my employees during the picking process to scan the source location. So I say here, source location is a mandatory scan, so that they cannot scan any product. They cannot select any quantity without first scanning the source location. If we jump into the inventory adjustment menu, from here we can scan as many items as what we could do in the operations and in the batch transfers menu. But from here, we can also click the checkbox if we agree with what Odoo is actually suggesting. By clicking on the checkbox, Odoo is going to align the suggested quantity with the counted quantity. But if I don't agree with this number, then I can either scan my product or I can click on the pen to manually adjust it. All right, let's stop talking about the basics and let's jump right into the juicy topic, what's new in Odoo 17 for the barcode app. Well, to say it plainly, a lot. For example, returns. Now, we can automatically print the return slip with the delivery slip during the delivery process. And this return slip can be put in the package. And if the customer wants to return the product, you will have the return slip automatically in the package. And the worker that is going to receive this return can automatically scan the delivery order, and he will land in the page that we see here on the left. From here, two options. Either we click on return product, or we scan the return barcode that we have on the return slip. This will automatically create a return transfer if we have configured it previously in the configuration of the operation type. We also have a package split. Now the package will no longer fill in the demand line. If we scan a package, Odoo will fill in what has been ordered and will create a new line for what is surplus. We also have flexibility in multi-locations. Let's imagine, for example, that we are using FIFO. With FIFO, if I have some products in shelf 1 and if I have some products that arrive later in shelf 2, I have 10 units in both. Let's say that I need to pick 10 units. Odoo is going to suggest me to pick 10 units from shelf 1. But let's say that I want to pick 5 units from shelf 1 and 5 units from shelf 2. Now, all I need to do is select or scan shelf 1, select my quantity, scan shelf 2, select my quantity. And this will not break any longer the reservation of the product. We also have a lot of new user-friendly features that are going to change drastically the way that we use barcodes, especially for the users. For example, manual entry. Imagine that one of the barcode labels that you have is completely torn. You can't scan it any longer. Now you don't need to go back to the desk, ask your colleague to actually fix it in the backend. Now you can just click on the top right-hand corner icon, the barcode icon in your barcode app, and you'll be able to manually type your barcode. And Odoo will mimic the scan so that you don't have to go out of the barcode app. We also have a soundproof system. Let's say that, for example, you want to scan hundreds of products. We don't want our users to take the time to check every single scan if Odoo has actually recognized the barcode. Now, if Odoo has recognized the barcode, Odoo will flash for part of a second. If it did not recognize the barcode, then you will hear a sound telling you that you need to check the barcode app and to see what you have to fix to actually perform the action that you wanted to do. The final user-friendly feature that we have created for Odoo 17 is the product picture. Now, if you have configured a product picture in the backend of your product, in the inventory app, for example, then when you go in the barcode app and you click on the little pen, you'll be able to see the product picture. It can be really handy, for example, if you have countless products and you don't really know which product you need to pick. Now you can just see the picture that you have to pick, and then you'll be able to do that right away. All right. I guess you're all probably sleeping at the moment, so let's jump into a database and do a demonstration with all the knowledge that we have acquired. You all know that Odoo loves to cherish its employees. After creating a kitchen, a yogurt and cereal bar, beer, cider, and spritz on tap in all our offices, let's say that Odoo decides to open a new services for their employee, a breakfast service, and this is the story of Odoolicious. Now, I will invite you to join me in a day in the life of the warehouse manager for Odoolicious in Belgium. He's responsible for delivering and processing all the orders for the Belgium offices and the Luxembourg office. So let's jump right into a database. From here, we are going to jump into the barcode app. Let's not waste any second. Okay, what's the first thing that I would have to do in my daily life as a warehouse manager? First, I would process all the receipts. I need to have some goods in stock to manage my production orders, to manage my deliveries. And that's what we are going to do. The receipts, I click on operations, and now I see all the different types of operations that I had configured previously in my backend. For example, here, I see that I have 2 receipts to process. And here, Odoo will automatically show me either the transfers that are assigned to my user or the transfers that are not assigned at all. So that if I have some time, I can just select one of the unassigned transfer and fill it in myself. But here I see that I have actually received one of the receipt that I was expecting from the local farm next door. So I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to process all the different steps. Here, for example, I see that I have some chocolate to receive, some coffee, flour, butter, and some eggs. And Odoo is telling me as well some information about where to put the product. And this is what we see in red. But why do I see it in red? Well, it's because I have configured in the backend some put-away rules. Put-away rules mean that Odoo is going to suggest where to put the product. But in my warehouse, I have 2 areas. One area for the dry products and one area for the fridge products, for the fresh products. In my areas, I actually have some sub-locations that are internal. I don't want my users to actually put the product in dry products. I want my users to put my products in an internal location. And here, Odoo is telling me that it's in red because it's a view location, so that I can't actually validate my transfer if I don't scan a destination location. So let's process this. First, I am going to scan my chocolate 3 times, perfect. Now let's follow what Odoo has to say. Here we see on the ribbon that I need to scan a package or the destination location or another product. Let's scan a destination location. So I need to scan a destination location which is below dry products. Perfect. Now I have put my products in dry products shelf 1. Let's actually manage now my second line, which is coffee. Again, a location under dry products. Let's manage my flour, my butter. And now Odoo is telling me to put it under one of the fridge location. So here, I have just stored it in my fridge. Now I see that I need to receive 96 eggs. But actually, I'm not going to scan it 96 times. That would be a huge waste of time. I see that on the box, I have another label. A label for my product and a label that is indicating that this product is packed by 24 units. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to scan my packaging. And now I see that I have actually scanned 24 units with 1 scan. 2 options now. Either I keep scanning it, or I can just click on plus pack of 24. But I'm going to scan it 3 more times. Oops. I have actually scanned one of the wrong products. It's not a problem. I am just going to delete this line. And now I'm going to scan one more time my pack of 24. And I'm going to scan a destination location in my fridge. Perfect. Everything has been done for my receipt. I can now validate my transfer. Oops, I did an odoopsie. I just noticed that one of the boxes is actually open. So I can't really accept it in my shelf. I'm not going to use it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my receipt and I'm going to return it to my vendor. So it was receipt number 11. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to click on Return Products. And from here, I'm going to select the products that I want to return. Perfect. I'm going to return only the chocolate. I don't need to return the rest. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to stay in the barcode app, but I will notify the supplier that I'm going to return this product. And I will take a picture of the broken box or of the open box to tell them that indeed this package was broken. I can't accept it in my warehouse. I click on the little I, and here I am redirected to the chatter. And from here, what I can do is I can send a message, type the package was open and the chocolate is broken. I can add a picture. So if your barcode scanner is connected to a camera, for example, with a phone or a Zebra scanner, you'll be able to take a picture automatically with your camera. From my computer, I can attach a file, for example. I'm going to send it. Perfect. My supplier has received my picture of the broken chocolate and my message. I can confirm it and validate my return. Perfect. My receipt process has been complete. Now I can go back to my home screen. What would be the next step? First, I validate my receipt. Now I can actually process some delivery orders. The delivery process for Odoolicious is first picking and then delivery. But for the picking, at Odoo we have different offices in Belgium. We have offices in Louvain-la-Neuve and we have offices in Grand-Rosières. So I'm going to regroup all the orders for Louvain-la-Neuve and all the orders for Grand-Rosières. Okay? And this is why we're going to use batch transfers. So if I go in my batch transfers menu, I can see that I have one batch transfer for my Louvain-la-Neuve area. Now, let's say that I don't really know what to do next. Well, as always, look at what Odoo is suggesting. Scan the source location. Okay, but what is the source location? I see that on the first line, Odoo is telling me to pick the product in dry products shelf 1. So I'm going to scan my shelf 1. Perfect. I actually have two products in this shelf that I need to pick. First, I need to pick 100 croissants. So I'm going to select this specific product. I'm not going to scan it 100 times. Again, I'm going to scan my packaging by pack of 50. Perfect. Now I don't need to put it in a destination location, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to pack it automatically in one of my packages. 100 units, it's not that big, so I'm going to select a small package. So I'm going first to put it in pack, and I'm going to scan a specific type of package to indicate which box I used. So this is going to be a 1x1 carton box, and we can see it in italic here. So now I can process my other product. I now have to pick 200 croissants, so I can scan it 4 times, and I'm going to put it in pack again. But as Odoo is telling me this is for a blue order, which the other one was for a red order, I know it's for a different order, so I'm going to put it in another pack. Now Odoo has actually put it in the pack number 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scan another type of package, which is the bigger package that I have at my disposal. Now I can see that I did not actually scan the correct package type because it was supposed to be a 1x1 package. But it's not a problem. I can go in my package, remove it, and select the correct one. Perfect. Now what I can do is I see that I have scanned everything that was in my shelf 1, so I can now scan my shelf 2. Perfect. Everything else is located in this section, so I'm going to process the rest of my deliveries. So some coffee. And Odoo is telling me that I could put it in pack 1. Why? Well, it's because my order for the red part has been put in the pack number 1. So I can now scan my pack number 1. Perfect. And I can now process my second line for my coffee, which is for my pack number 2. Perfect. And I'm going to scan my pack number 2. Now, I can scan, I think I need to select my pack number 2. Perfect. And I can now select my last product, which is some pain au chocolat. Perfect. My employees love it, so I'm going to scan my packaging and again my pack number 1. And finally, 200 units for the other order and my pack number 2. Perfect. I have actually processed everything. Now, all I need to do is validate it. And the last part of my delivery process is to do the actual delivery. So I have put my products, my packages in my truck, and I'm going to drive to the different locations to deliver the product. So I click on operations, I click on delivery orders, and I see that I have some orders to deliver to Louvain-la-Neuve offices. For example, here, Odoo is telling me to scan my pack number 1. I'm not going to scan all the products again. I'm only going to scan my package. If ever I need to validate or to check whether or not I have all the products, I can click here, and Odoo is telling me that I have all of these products in my package. So I'm going to scan my pack number 1. Perfect. And I can now go in my chatter, send a message to my client to tell him I have put the package in the kitchen. I can also send, for example, a picture of the location of the package, and I can now validate. And let's do the same for the second delivery for Louvain-la-Neuve 2. I'm going to scan my second package, and I'm going to as well notify the customer through the chatter. I can now validate and go back to the home screen. Okay, we have processed some receipts, we have processed some delivery orders. The only thing left to do is some inventory adjustment. We need to make sure that Odoo is actually reflects the reality of what we have in stock. So I'm going to click on inventory adjustments, and here we see that I have 3 lines to process. Let's say that I agree with the 990 baguette and these units of croissant. So I click on the checkbox. But let's say that I don't actually agree with the coffee. We don't have 3 units, but we have actually 4 units. That's perfect. We found back some coffee. So now the only thing that is left to do is apply it, and Odoo will automatically change the quantities in my inventory adjustment menu. All right, let's jump back to the presentation. So, to sum up, barcodes are fast. But 3 points to remember. First, it's really important to take a step back from the barcode app, to take a step back from Odoo, to identify the different scanning steps that your workers will have to do. Any additional scanning steps will generate more costs. It's really expensive to take longer to process a picking, for example. So it's really important to take this step back. And to configure all of these scanning steps, you have to go in the configuration of the operation type. Second point, in doubt, if you don't know what to do, always check what Odoo is suggesting. In the ribbon, you will see scan a product, scan a lot number, scan a package, scan a destination location. And finally, as always with inventory, keep it smart and simple. It's always best to reduce the amount of actions that need to be performed, because you will go faster, it will be less expensive, and your users will learn it more quickly. So thank you for your attention, and if you have any other questions, don't hesitate to go directly in the Q&A pad, where I will try to answer all of your questions. But if we don't have time, or if it's too complex, don't hesitate to come see me at the inventory booth, and I will take the time to actually go through it together. And if you are interested with the barcode subject, I really advise to go see the GS1 talk that will happen here today, and as well the streamline operation barcode with the printing and all the hardware parts that can be linked to the barcode. But thank you for your attention.